Holla ballers! Elemental Shaman! The most fun you've had in a very long time, Mr. Shaman friends? I think so! Elemental is looking absolutely stupendous. Stupendous! That's right, I'm going to bring in that word, stupendous. Why? They've just done so little tiny changes to it that just make it so much fun. I've been enjoying this all afternoon. I really have. I've been playing this like 3 or 4 extra dungeons. I just couldn't believe how fun it is. And how rip-roaring, arse-tearing this spec is. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. Great fun. Let's jump into the Elemental Shaman and tell you how to play it, what you want to be doing with it, and how to get the best out of it. Let's take a look. So Elemental obviously gets Lightning Bolt, Lava Burst, the 100% guaranteed crit if we have our Flame Shock on a target, Fulmination. Fulmination when you have more than one Lightning Shield charge active. Your Earth Shock spell will consume any surplus charges, instantly dealing their total damage to the enemy target. And of course, Earthquake, the bastard child of whatever we want that AoE to be. It really is, yeah... Earthquake. Looks terrifying. Good game. Okay, so the talents we're going to take with an Elemental Shaman, what are they? Of course, the new Mr. Pandaria model doesn't really specify anything. You can pick whatever you want to take. Nature's Guardian and Astral Shifts are always pretty cool in my eyes. They really are. Astral Shift being more regular. Are we going to be in any danger? As a caster, I don't feel that much in danger that I really need to be picking up Astral Shift. I prefer Nature's Guardian on my caster, even for my heroics. When things really go badly, we get that extra heal. We get 25% extra health, which is, of course, translated into an extra heal as well. I just feel a little bit safer on an Astral Shift on a caster than I do on a melee, which is why I tend to roll with Nature's Guardian on a caster. The next tier is some sort of CC. Pick whatever the hell you like, really. They're not going to affect your DPS in any way. Earthgrab Totem's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It does root everything, helps things stay in your AoE, stay near your Magma Totem, all that kind of good stuff. It can be handy sometimes. Again, with the Totem maneuver, anything you wish. Which is going to be more handy to you? Call the Elements, perhaps? Reducing those cooldowns? Is it going to be Totemic Protection? Again, entirely down to you. Not really going to affect your DPS in any particular fashion. I love the next tier is a DPS changer. Now, you'll be happy to know. You will be happy to know that with the passive 5% spell and melee haste from Ancestral Swiftness, Echo the Elements, and Elemental Mastery, all 3 are almost identical. Absolutely identical in their performance. Elemental Mastery, if you have some sort of I need to kill this now moment, is going to be better for you. It's going to be better for you. It really is. Because you're going to be able to time that huge burst for whenever you need it. Do note that 30% haste becomes useless if you macro it with Ascendance, because your Lava Burst has no cooldown while you're under the effects of Ascendance. Therefore, having 30% haste on something with no cooldown is a bit of a waste of time. That being said, Ascendance can be used at any time, so if we have Mega AoE to do, and our Ascendance obviously converts our Chain Lightning into Lava Beam, which really, really hurts, having extra haste can be beneficial under those circumstances. So something to bear in mind there if you're going to be doing mad, crazy AoE. But in fact, if you just want to cheese the AoE incredibly, having Elemental Mastery and Ascendance up together is pretty damn sexy. If you're going for pure single target DPS, you don't really want to use them together as your Lava Burst has no cooldown. Therefore, the haste is a little bit wasted. At level 75, you get the choice of some sort of healing helpfulness. Again, I roll with Healing Tide. If I want to not lose DPS, I just want to drop my Healing Tide. Yo, bros, I'm helping you out. End of story. That's all I want to know. At level 90, we do get some other DPS cooldown. Again, they are extremely close. Extremely close. You're not going to really lose out either way. Elemental Blast being slightly ahead. Very slightly ahead, okay? But it does add another spell to your rotation, and if you don't want an extra spell in your rotation, then pick something else. Pick something else. Maybe Primal Elementalist or something along those lines. Elemental Blast is slightly ahead, and hell, it's just more fun. You get this extra spell where you could get some extra mastery, which means more elemental overloads, or you get more haste, more spells, or you get more crit, and then you have a floppy penis, because crit sucks balls. But either way, it's generally pretty cool. 12-second cooldown adds an extra spell to your rotation, but again, you see what I'm using Elemental Blast here. I've just added it here on my larger icons, just so I can keep a nice track of it. Just so I can keep an eye on it, and I tend to try and throw it in my rotation that way. The glyphs. Couple of mandatory glyphs. One being Glyph of Flame Shock. Increase the duration of your flame shock by 25% but reduce the initial damage. It just frees you up with more global cooldowns. It's a passive DPS increase. It's good, good, good. Pick it up. It's pretty good in every single situation. Unless you're literally struggling to keep flame shock up on every target, it's just better. Especially when we're doing moderate AoE where we're going to be spreading our flame shock around to various targets. It's just good. It's really, really good. So pick it up. When you're running your heroics, Glyph of Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning spell now strikes 2 additional targets. I'm sure you've all seen Elemental Shamans just doing astronomical levels of DPS in your dungeons when it comes to AoE. It's generally down to this glyph and the fact that they can spam this along with Fulmination. That's where it's coming from. Be aware of it. Your other glyph can be everything you want. I just chose Telluric Currents purely because I'm going to be doing a resto video soon and I like my Telluric Currents. But more, if I'm doing mega spam of AoE, you can run into some mana issues sometimes. It can happen. Be aware it can happen if you're just constantly spamming Chain Lightning. You can have some mana issues and you might want to rebuild your mana if you can't get that Thunderstorm off anytime you want. Other than that, anything you want. Nothing that's majorly going to change your DPS, okay? You can pick whatever the hell you want. The other obvious choice is the Glyph of Fire Elemental Tome. I would take this over Telluric Currents if it wasn't for the case that in the tests I've done, I haven't really needed it. But you get the regular cooldown of Fire Elemental Tome. Hell, just to stop confusion, I'm going to take it for my heroics. I'm going to take it just to stop people thinking, you don't need Telluric Currents. I know you don't need it. It was just a little thing that mixes in and doesn't make huge effects. But I'll take Glyph of Fire Elemental Tome just to keep you guys happy. Reforging. Let's talk about our reforging a little bit here. Reforging on an Ellie Shaman is really easy. Unfortunately, there's a bug with my UI which is not showing stats, as you can see there. But your priorities are simple. Hit. Get your hit cap. Every spell you miss is just an astronomical waste of DPS. It's so important to get your hit cap, but don't go past it, because obviously once you can hit, you're done. That's it. It's done. It's hits capped. That's why it's called the cap. After that, both your haste and your mastery are of equal value. Similar to the enhancement Shaman, okay? They're equally valuable. Crit is garbage. Get rid of crit anywhere you can. Really. See there on this item there. Crit to haste. Crit to haste. Crit to haste. Crit to haste. Crit to mastery. Very simple stuff. Get rid of it. Mastery, awesome. Mastery haste, even better. Crit to haste. Get rid of crit. Crit to haste again. Reforging away as much crit as possible. Crit is garbage for a number of reasons. One, our Lava Bolt has an instantaneous, is guaranteed to crit. Our Lava Burst. Therefore, that crit is totally useless in those situations. Absolutely useless. Under the effects of Ascendance, where we're going to be spamming Lava Burst, it's totally useless. It's just a waste of stats. We don't want that happening. What's our single target rotation, Preacher? Well, obviously you've got your cooldowns. You've got your Capacity Totem, or Stormlash Totem, I should say. Not Capacity Totem, that's something different. You've got your Stormlash Totem. You want to be using your Stormlash Totem whenever you can. You want to be keeping Flame Shock up. Blow your cooldowns whenever you can. If you remember your Ascendance, let's just read what it does for Elemental. While in the form of a Flame Ascendant, Lava Burst has no cooldown, and Chain Lightning is empowered to become Lava Beam. So you get much more AoE damage and much more single target damage. Your single target rotation is very easy. You're going to get your Searing Totem down. You're going to be keeping up your Flame Shock. You're going to be using Lava Burst on cooldown. And if you've taken Elemental Blast, you want that on cooldown. And you're just going to fill nicely with Lightning Bolt until you get procs like that. Your Fulmination, now the trick to Elemental is to make sure that you use your Fulminations without having to clip Flame Shocks. Remember, your Fulmination is activated by Earth Shock. The way to do that is you decide when to use it. You do not have to wait for that Fulmination proc. Let me refresh on what you're talking about. Anywhere between 5 and the 7 stacks of Lightning Shield is enough. That is enough, so it really is. So I'm watching it there, I've got 2, that's fine, I don't want to cast it yet. The Elemental Blast Pack, keeping that on cooldown, 3, go on, give me some procs, son. I'm watching this bar here, 4, Flame Shock's about to expire soon. Oh, there's 5, going to fire off that shock as quickly as possible. It's going to put that on a 5-second cooldown. So remember, if your Flame Shock has 5 seconds left, 5 seconds, you want to be making sure that you're not Earth Shocking. That's your 5-second window. You cool down your shock to 5 seconds. Make sure you're not recasting a shock if your Flame Shock has less than 5 seconds. That is the only trick to it. Oh, I'm on 5 stacks of Lightning Shield. I'm going to fire off my Earth Shock there. Very easy. That's not to say always use it at 5. You have this opportunity to use your Fulmination anywhere between 30 seconds of Flame Shock and, of course, the 5 seconds. 3 seconds left. I'm going to fire it off. Single target rotation again. Elemental Blast if you're taking it. Keep Flame Shock up. Use as many Lava Bursts as possible. Watch out for the procs. And use your Lightning Shield anywhere between 5 and 7 procs. Okay, 5 and 7 stacks. There we go. Fulmination there. Fire off my Elemental Blast. Keep my stacks rolling. Now, I have an opportunity to use Lightning Shield, but again, 9. They're not going to get 5 stacks before then, so I'm not worried about it. I'll just use it next time. I'm just going to focus on refreshing my Flame Shock. About 3 seconds. There we go. Flame Shock back on. And then keep rock and rolling with the normal rotation. Very simple. And keep your Searing Totem down. Very simple. Now, in our AoE, it depends how many mobs we've got. As always, it depends how many mobs we've got. Magma Totem is very awesome for the Elemental Shamans, okay? Magma Totem is very awesome. If we have 2 mobs, we're going to continue our single target rotation as normal, but we're going to be keeping up Flame Shock on both targets. This gives us more chances to get instant cast lava bursts, and then we're going to just simply change our Lightning Bolt into Chain Lightning. Simple as that. Nothing else. You can see I'm getting much more Lava Burst procs. Very, very simple stuff. And I'm just going to be keeping a track of both Flame Shocks. Very easy. Very simple. Just moving in. Change Lightning Bolt to Chain Lightning if you've got the 2 targets. Very, very easy to do. And keep Flame Shock on both targets. So that one's a bit needs refreshing. I'm going to refresh that there. And you can see you get a lot more Lava Burst procs. You see, proc, 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 proc. Very nice. When we start getting to 3 mobs and plus, we want to start definitely introducing Magma Totem. And we're going to move away from caring too much about Flame Shock into more of a Fulmination, Chain Lightning spammage. So these Flame Shocks are still going to give me these Lava Burst procs. Don't worry about it too much. We're going to move heavily into a Flame Shock, into a Chain Lightning spamathon with Magma Totem down. And we're just going to rack up so many Fulmination procs. We're going to be slipping those in. For 104k crits there, you can see that going on. Keeping track of that Magma Totem. Just start doing astronomical amounts of AoE DPS. Remember, you can blow all your cooldowns as much as you want. So that's going to be 3 or 4 mobs. When does Earthquake come into the play, Preacher? That's what you're really going to think about. When is Earthquake going to come into the play? Around 6 or 7 mobs. At 6 or 7 mobs, you're definitely going to be wanting to get your Earthquake down and keep Earthquake going. With 6 or 7 mobs, you want your Earthquake down, you want your Magma Totem down, and you're just going into pure Chain Lightning spam-a-thon and using Fulmination on cooldown. So you can see now my mana's starting to go down. That's okay. It's nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about at all. But you want to keep that Earthquake down, keep your Magma Totem rocking and rolling, keep them Fulminations going, and just spamming Chain Lightning absolutely constantly, okay? That is going to be your AoE rotation. Very, very simple. Once you start getting to 4 or 5 mobs, don't worry about your Flame Shock. Don't worry about your Lava Burst. It is all about the Chain Lightning and your Fulminations. It really is. And when you get even more mobs, up to 6 mobs, drop the Earthquake on them. Drop that Earthquake bomb. Get it in there. And keep your Magma Totem down. Alright? Very simple stuff, guys. Very, very easy. Let's get into a dungeon and see how it all plays out. Alright, ballers?